Just because someone's giving advice about something doesn't mean that they're not actively learning or going through the bouts around that thing they're talking about. Like, it also doesn't mean that their life should be perfect and they should be this perfect person for you to accept advice that they have. Like, for example, people that have relationship advice channels or videos and they're not in a relationship, it doesn't mean that their advice is useless. It means that you could learn or take something from what they're giving or saying, and you can learn what not to do or what to do for real, because someone's status on paper or like their tangible possessions doesn't really make a person, or like how they really look or where they're from doesn't really sum up who they are as an individual. So you don't want to feel like somebody's input in the world or like addition to the world is not valid just because of how you perceive them. Like, some people take offense to some things that you have to say unintentionally or intentionally, and they intentionally or unintentionally misinterpret or misunderstand what you're saying and what you mean because of their own perception of the world or untouched trauma that many, if not all people have. And so that's an internal job for each individual person to figure out what they're absorbing from someone and what they can take from that. And I feel like at the end of the day, there's always something to take away from something that you either agree with or don't agree with, or that you see useful or not. Having like opinions and general knowledge about things doesn't mean that that person thinks they know everything, or thinks that they're always right, or thinks that they can never do wrong or make mistakes, and they're allowed to make mistakes and be human. Sometimes where you notice some people will listen to you and take your advice, or they appreciate things that you have to say, and then if they see you doing something questionable or like off kilter or just not to the T, then everything that you've said about your life or who you are or like what you stand for is just a facade. You know, like that saying, yeah, parents tell you to do what they say, not as they do. I tell you things not because I'm trying to be bossy or messed up and controlling, but because probably at one point I was doing those things, or I was met with certain consequences for things, and I would hate to see you go through that for real.